So welcome back. We want to look at illustration number 5, and the question reads: the Milano company has established the following standard mix for producing 9 liters of product A. We have 5 liters of material X at 7 shillings per liter, that is 35, 3 liters of Y at 5 bob per liter, 15, 2 liters of Z at 2 bob per liter, 4. The total is 54. So it means, what does it mean? It means that 54 shillings is used to produce 9 liters. So if you need the standard cost per unit of finished good or per unit of output, utafanya 54 shillings cost ya kutengeneza 9 kgs over 9, what are the liters, and that will give us 6. Okay, then kuna standard loss of 10%. So it means that if we input 10 units, then 1 unit is lost, so we get 9. That is where come up unaona 5 plus 3 plus 2 is 10. That we input 10, but we output 9. We produce 9 from 10. Okay. A standard loss of 10% of input is expected to occur. Actual input was as follows. So the other data was standard. Now this is actual. 53,000 liters of X at 7 bob. 28,000 liters of Y at 5.3 bob, and 19,000 of Z at 2.2. Actual output for the period was 92,700 liters of product A. Required material mix variance and material yield variance. Good. So let me start with material mix variance. Material mix variance, we said that material mix variance is actual quantity in standard mix proportions. Okay, minus actual quantity into standard price. Okay, now what was the actual quantity input? The actual quantity input was a total of 100,000 units. But in standard mix proportions, what are the mix proportions? To produce 9 liters, you need to mix X and Y and Z in the ratios of 5 to 3 to 2. So it means that X should take 5 over 10 because 5 plus 3 plus 2 is 10. X should take 5 over 10, Y 3 over 10, and 2 3 over 10. Okay, so actual quantity was 100,000 units, and in standard mix proportions it is 5 over 10. So that is for X. 5 over 10 times 100,000 minus actual quantity. Actual quantity for X was actual was 53,000. So minus 53,000 into the standard price. The standard price for X is 7 shillings. So into 7. So 5 over 10 times 100,000, I think that should give us 50,000. Yeah, 50,000 minus 53,000. That is negative 3,000 times 7. That should give us negative 21,000. So that is 21,000 adverse. That is for X. For Y, it is 3 over 10 times 100,000 times 100,000. Okay, minus the actual quantity, 28,000. So 28,000 into the standard price. Standard price for Y is 5 shillings. So into 5. So 3 over 10 times 100, that should give us 30,000. This should give us 30,000 minus 28,000, that is positive 2,000 times 5, that should give us positive 10,000. So that is 10,000 favorable. And finally for Z, it is 2 over 10 times 100,000 minus the actual quantity used was 19,000. So minus 19,000 into the standard price. The standard price of Z is 2 shillings. So into 2. So that gives us 2 over 10 times 100,000 is 20,000. Minus 19,000, of course that is positive 1,000 times 2. So that should give us 2,000. Favorable. Good. Finally, we need to calculate material yield variance. So now sometimes the question may desire you to get the total, so you'll add up all the variances for material mix. So negative 21 plus 10 plus 2, I think that should give us negative 9. So the answer is negative 9, or rather 9,000 adverse. Next, let's do material yield variance. So material yield variance, the formula is actual yield minus standard yield. Okay, let me rub some of this. So actual yield minus standard yield from actual input, okay, into standard cost per unit, which I had already calculated. The actual yield was how much? The question says that the actual output in your yield. So actual yield was 92,700. So we will say 92,700. Then minus standard yield from actual input. The total units input were 100,000. And if there is a loss of 10%, then the yield should be 90%. So 90% of 100,000. 90% of 100,000, okay, into standard cost per unit. We've already calculated earlier that the standard cost per unit will be the cost for producing 9 units, 54, divided by those 9 units, which gave us 6. Okay, so times 6. That should give us 92,700 minus 90% of 100k is 90,000 into 6. So that is 2,700 times 6. That gives us how much? That gives us 16,200. 16,200. The answer is positive, so we say favorable. Good. So bye. That is the match I had for you. See you possibly at another time. You can also try to attempt other questions on your own to see whether you've mastered the concepts learned. I wish you well.